Welcome to Social Talk with a Buzz, where we don't just spill the tea. We shake it up with a little attitude, okay? Now, baby, this Diddy trial, it has the streets talking, and we need to break this down. Part 1, what Diddy got convicted of. So let's get into it. Diddy was found guilty on 2 counts for taking women across state lines for sex work. That's under the Mann Act, and it's giving serious charges. But sis, he beat the big ones. No sex trafficking, no racketeering, no RICO, nothing that tied him to running a full-on criminal.
Man, I'm so glad Diddy free, bro. You know, the reason is because I'm tired of seeing us black moguls get took down like that, bro. And I'm tired of seeing us black people go against us black moguls like that. And I feel like if Diddy was a white man who done all this shit for people, I know he ain't paid people, but if he done all this shit for hip-hop, if he was white, they would have had so many white people out there protesting for this man losing his life behind a relationship, and people always, Boosie was on Diddy's side. Nah, it ain't that. It's because I'm thinking about 7 children. Y'all thinking about one person. I'm thinking about these 7 kids who been in my kid's position. Not knowing if your daddy gonna come home or not is a burden on the child. So all y'all was like, no, I'm thinking about them damn children, man. So man, I'm glad he free, bro. Like I've been said, I don't feel he was guilty of nothing. Nothing but domestic violence. But the court spoke, man, and man, I'm happy that dude children, man. I know his feeling right now, man. I'm just happy for them children, man. Diddy, sit your ass down somewhere. That's what you need to do. Grab Stevie J and your children and get the fuck on.
Ring. Part 2, why he didn't get convicted on all charges. Okay, now, why didn't he get hit with everything? The prosecutors were trying to say he was out here like a hip-hop mafia boss. Drugs, bribes, freaky parties, girls being used and abused. But Diddy's lawyers flipped it. They argued the girls were willing, and the jury ended up believing a lot of it was consensual. Some text messages came out, like one where Cassie said, "I'm always ready to freak off LOL." And that definitely threw off the trafficking angle. It made it look more like everyone was grown and making their own choices, even if it was messy.
I did time for running an escort agency, but Diddy ran an abuse ring, and he gets off with 2 charges? Make it make sense. The system punished me for consent, but it lets Diddy off for violence. That tells you everything you need to know about how they feel about women. I built a business, but he built a ring. When it's a powerful man, all of a sudden, the women must be complicit in it. The women must have wanted it. It's a misunderstanding. This isn't justice. This is a spotlight on who the system protects. And when the abuser is powerful, accountability disappears.
But let's be clear, he's not walking free. Diddy's still locked up, no bail, and he could get up to 20 years when they sentence him in October. So while he dodged the biggest bullets, he's still facing real consequences. Part 4, Real Talk Reaction.
Government is who you blame if you feel that these victims didn't get justice because he was guilty of the domestic violence and all those things. But you know what they did? They swung for the fence and they went for a RICO.
Basically today the jury decided that a RICO is not a RICO.
How do you feel about the verdict today?
I'm very happy. I feel like justice was served. I've been to a few of his parties and there's been nothing but generosity and positivity, and I've never seen anything negative ever.
I'm an independent journalist that had predicted this was going to be what happened. I said the RICO is weak.
Right. Hopefully he do get some therapy. Hopefully he does get some help. Right. Seek some help. Stay away from the D-rugs and the addiction. But my question is for the people that were complicit, that you think he was guilty, what about everybody that got supposed immunities and proffer agreements and all of that?
I'm not flying you in.
Vlad, anybody you fuck, let's go in the real world. We finna get to her with rappers.
Let's go.
And anybody, lawyers. This go for politicians, anybody.
Let's go.
When you fly as a player, as a mannerism, you ain't gonna send that. You ain't gonna send her back with nothing. If it ain't nothing but $300-400 for her to get through the airport. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if she come to you buy her nice, men with power get off on buying women nice things. It doesn't make her a slut. It doesn't make her like she sold herself for those things. If you flew to me, and I gave you $1,000 to go home with, if we gonna call it, we done let them build up a tool that gonna take down every successful black man that got, cause mother, you know what's going on right now?
It's not just black men. Hold on.
Well, we're not black men. I don't get,
yeah.
But it's hard
just
on
put
us.
it on black men.
Okay, but it's
Every
hard
man
on us.
does this to a certain degree.
Every man does. Tennis players,
right?
Golf players, police, everybody. It's mannerism to give that woman something who done gave her, who she done gave you her body. It's mannerism to take her out and get her something. Give her something. It's hard out here for a woman. Give her $500. Give her $1,000. Come on, y'all. Like, come on, that's not. What are they crying about? You crying? Did he go in your ass or not?
Not good.
Could you have people?
Yeah, I guess like if this would never came out, I still would have been secret about it. I wouldn't just like snitch.
Yeah.
Cause I'm not no snitch. Like I was gonna just deal with it. And
or did he hurt their ass?
I don't know why somebody that evil would. I don't get it. I don't know why somebody would do that to a talented, passionate people.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we talented, passionate people. I don't understand. No, it's okay, bro.
What are they crying?
I'm not a lawyer, but the verdict is in. Here we go. Count 1, which is the racketeering conspiracy charge, not guilty. Count 2, which is trafficking Cassie, not guilty. Count 3, which is transportation to engage in institution for Cassie, guilty. Count 4, which is trafficking Jane, not guilty. And then count 5, which is transportation to engage in institution for Jane, guilty. So out of 5, he's guilty on 2 counts. They each are a maximum of 10 years. So he's currently facing a maximum of 20 years, but that's again the maximum. He can do less time. His attorneys asked the judge to release him today on $1 million bond, let him go back to live at his place in Florida to Star Island, but the government said he should be detained. The judge said he's not going to make the decision right now, but that's where we are. Diddy has been found guilty of 2 of the 5 charges, and to be frank, it's not guilty on the big ones. Seems like it's going to take a while for the actual sentencing, but we'll see if Diddy will continue to be detained or if he'll be released on bond. I can't believe I was asleep.
I want to paint you the picture of Diddy's post-verdict celebration. Once the racketeering not guilty verdict was read, he starts doing this, right? But like, yes. And then more not guilties come in and he's going, yes, not guilty on sex trafficking, not guilty on sex trafficking. He's like, yes. And then when he got to 3 out of 5 not guilties, Tenny Garagos, one of his lead attorneys sitting right next to him, started to cry. She starts to wipe away her tears. He leans over and hugs her and gives her a little kiss. Then he hugged Brian Steele, then he nodded to the jury, and he starts making prayer hands, and he's making prayer hands toward the judge, toward the jury, and then toward the sky, looking up like thanking God. At that point, Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnifilo, stood up and said, well, since we're only dealing with 2 charges of transportation for prostitution, I think he should be released today. The judge was taken aback by this. This was not on the plans. Nobody had thought this motion would come up. The judge said, are you suggesting that he walk out of this courtroom right now and go home? Agnifilo said, yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. All the other people who have been held on this charge prior to their sentence were pimps. He's a user of prostitution services. That's entirely different. He said his plane is in Maui. We have taken his passport. He will not be leaving. He would be a fool to do anything that the court doesn't want him to do. The judge was totally taken aback. He had not planned to discuss this at all. He was like, so I assume he doesn't want to go back to MDC today. And Diddy had this comic no, this big head shake I mean, of course he doesn't want to go back to MDC. Nobody wants to be there. The judge said, give me a letter from each side on whether or not he should be released today. And then most of the hearing was over, and that's when things got even more dramatic. He clasped his hands in prayer to the sky. After the legal conversation ended, Puff kneeled on the floor in the courthouse, his face in the seat of the chair that he had sat in throughout this 2-month trial. And he sat for a long time, like a good long minute, and prayed. Was he crying? Maybe. Was he having the emotion of this incredible situation drain out of him? For sure. Because when he got up from this, you could see a different body language. You could see the stress starting to fall off of him. You could see some of the energy come back. He was clearly relieved, cosmically, epically relieved after this letting out. And when he stood, he faced his children, his 6 children, and his mom in the front row, and he's clapping and smiling, and they're all clapping and smiling, and they're sharing this energy together of love and excitement. And he's going back to prison for now, but huge elation, huge excitement. They were so happy. He saw this as a total victory.
And you already know, people are split. Some are saying he's innocent, others feel like the system failed the women again. And honestly, there's still coming his way. Civil cases, money, reputation, all of that is still up in the air. But now I need to know what you think. Did Diddy's money and power help him dodge the worst? Or was the case just not strong enough? Let's talk about it in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with somebody who's been following this whole mess. I'll be back with more right here on Social Talk with a Buzz. Love y'all. See you next